Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to do Form I-134. The USCIS Form I-134 is the Affidavit of Support form that must be filed by a person who seeks to sponsor his family member for a visitor visa. This form must be signed by the sponsor to establish that the visitor who he is sponsoring will not become a public charge. The sponsor must file separate affidavits for each visitor he sponsors. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's say I want my mom to come and visit me. What do I need to do? Well, I have to fill out this form. Okay. Part number 1, information about you, the sponsor. In this case, I'm the sponsor. So I'm gonna type in my information, my last name. I'm gonna do everything uppercase. My first name, middle name, I don't have one, so I'm going to do that. Other names used. List all the names you have ever used, include all nicknames and middle names and etc. So I don't have any other names. I never use any other names, so I'm going to do this. But if you have, write it down in this section. Sponsor's mailing address. In this area, 3A, in care of name. These generally be left blank in most cases. We're going to leave it in blank. And we're going to type in our address. Okay, 3D. We are going to write down the city or town. The city and then the state. And the zip code. Okay, and this, the 3G and the 3H, it's gonna be blank because this refers to an address outside of the United States. So don't do anything here. The 3I is the country. This address is here in United States. So that it is. Number 4, are your mailing address and physical address the same? And you have to say yes or you have to say no. In my case, it's the same. So I'm gonna mark this one. But if your answer is no, if it's different, you're gonna mark this box and then in number 4, you're gonna provide your physical address. I'm sorry, you're gonna provide your physical address in item number 5A through 5H. But in this case, it's the same, so I'm gonna mark that box, yes. This is the section that you will complete if it's different from your mailing address, but in my case it's the same, so I leave it in blank. Other information, and here I'm gonna type in my birthday, and remember, in the date of birth should be written month, day, and year. Okay, so this is the month, this is the day, and then you type in the year. Okay, number 7A, town or city of birth. Okay, so I was born in Mexico, so I'm going to type in the name of the town. And then 7B, country of birth. This is in Mexico. Okay, and then in number 8, alien registration number and A number. If you are a green card holder, or if you ever receive a work permit in the US, you have an A number. Write down here the number. Otherwise, leave it in blank. Okay, let's say this, we're gonna leave it in blank. We don't have one. So, number 9, US Social Security number, if any. If you have a Social Security number, write it here. Otherwise, leave it in blank. But let's say we have one. Number 10, USCIS online account number. If you have it, write it here. Otherwise, leave it in blank. And I'm gonna leave it in blank. Okay. Number, citizenship or residency or status. If you are not a U.S. citizen based on your birth in the United States, or a non-citizen U.S. national based on your birth in American Samoa, including Samoan, I don't know if I pronounce it right, Iceland, answer the following as appropriate. 11A. Okay, and here you are going to specify your legal status details in the USA. 11A. I am a U.S. citizen through naturalization. My certificate or naturalization number is, if this is the case, you're going to select this box and then you're going to type in the number. 11B. I am a U.S. citizen through parents or marriage. My certificate or citizenship number is, if that's the case, you're gonna select this and type in the number. But in this tutorial, we're gonna leave it in blank. Part 1, information about you, the sponsor, continue. 11C, I derive my U.S. citizenship by another method. Provide and explain in Part 7 additional information. If that's your case, select here and explain in Part 7. 11D, I am a lawful permanent resident of the United States. My A number is, and we are going to select this option for this tutorial. And you type in here your, oh, it's not letting me, your A number. Anyways, when you print it out, you can write it down. Don't forget, okay? Or 11E, I am a lawfully admitted non-immigrant. My form I-134 arrival, departure, record number is, and if this is your case, you pick this box and type in the information. Okay, number 12, you have to type in your age. I am 40 years of age and have resided in the United States since, and you have to write down the date. Part 2, information about the beneficiary. Okay, the beneficiary is the person that we want to come to visit us to United States. Okay, and we're gonna write their information here, his or her information. A1, the name. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, this is the last name. The first name, middle name, she doesn't have one. Date of birth, starting with the month, and then the day, and then the year. Okay, and she's my mother, she's a female. Okay, and then she doesn't have an A number, so I don't like to leave like any spaces, empty spaces, so just type in that. Okay, they want to know if my mom is married, single, divorced, you know, like the information. So in this case, she's married. I'm going to mark that box. And number 7, relationship to a sponsor. Okay, so in this case, she is my mother. Okay. Beneficiary's physical address. All right. So let's say this is her address. Okay, and this is only if you live in an apartment, in suite, or in a floor, and then the rest of the info. But she lives in a house, so the city where she lives, and then this, which is the 8D and the 8F, I'm sorry, AD, this is only for an address in United States, and AE, it's also for an address inside United States. So we're gonna leave this in blank because we are, you know, trying to bring a relative to visit us to United States. So that's why we are doing this form. So they're not here, they live outside of United States. Otherwise, wouldn't make any sense to do this. And okay, 8F, we're gonna use this, okay, province or state. This is Guanajuato. And then postal code. And 8H, it's the country. What country is this address in? This is in Mexico. Okay, and then in here, it says beneficiary's spouse. And then it says accompanying or following to join beneficiary. Okay, So in this section, if like let's say I'm doing this for my mother because I want my mother to come and visit me, and if I want my father to come with her, so I'm gonna put down here my father's information, which is the last name, first name, middle name, date of birth, gender. But in this case, I'm not gonna do this part. I'm gonna leave it in blank because I just asking for my mom. So don't do nothing here. I mean, if you want to add another person, like your dad or your man, I don't know, depending who are you filing this for. Okay. All right. Okay, beneficiaries children. So in this case, if any minor children are going to accompany the adult you are sponsoring, write the information about them here. Otherwise, leave that in blank. For most elderly parents, this section would be blank, which is my case. So, nothing here. And remember, I like to type in NA. I don't know if they're gonna let me do it here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Part 3. Other information about the sponsor. And I am the sponsor, so this section is for me. All right, they want to know what we do. What's our employment history information? Be specific about the type of job you do. Okay, if you do, like if you are a software engineer or a manager or receptionist, a hotel owner, so you have to be very specific. Okay, so I'm gonna say A1, employed as, it's not letting me type anything. Oh my goodness, I don't like this. Anyways, I'm gonna say that I am a manager, okay? A hotel manager. So when I print the application, when I print it out, I'm gonna type in hotel manager. And 1A1, name of employer if applicable. So I'm gonna type in the name of the employer when I print it out. 1B, if you don't work for anybody else, if you have, you know, your own business or you work, you know, like if you are a self-employed, you are going to pick this one and you're gonna type in what kind of job you do. Or if you have your own business or whatever, you want to specify what kind of business. But in this case, I am a hotel manager, so I'm gonna leave it here. Okay. In this section, current employer address if employed. And I'm gonna write down the the employer address in this section. Okay. And let's say this is a suite. Okay, let's see, this is a suite. Well, no, it's not a suite. Well, for this tutorial, so you can have an idea how to do it. A suite and then the suite number. Oh, it's not letting me type it in, but I'm gonna put 456 as the suite number. And then 2C, the city. I'm gonna type in the city and the state over here. And then the zip code. And remember the 2F and the 2G are gonna be blank because this only applies if the address is outside of United States. And the 2H is the country. So this address is in United States. Income and asset information. Number 3, my annual income is, and we are going to type in how much money we make a year. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna say I make that much. And then here it says, if self-employed, I have attached a copy of my last income tax return or report of commercial rating concern, which I certify to be true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. See instruction for nature of evidence of net worth to be submitted. Okay, so number 4, balance of all the saving and checking accounts in United States based financial institution. If you have any savings, you're gonna write it down here. If you have a savings account, you know, whatever amount you have right there. And then number 5, value of my other personal property. So if you have any other values, so write it here. Okay. And then 6, market value of my stocks and bonds. If you have that also, you should write it down. Okay. But if you don't have any of these, you can just leave it in blank. Well, put N/A. N/A. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. 7A. I have life insurance in the sum of, and if that's your case, if you have like a life insurance, you are going to write it here. If that's the case, otherwise don't put anything. Okay, and then 7B, with a cash surrender value of, so this is 0, and then real estate information. Okay. 8A, I own real estate valued at, so in this case I'm gonna say 0. And AB, I have mortgages or other debts amounting to, so in this case it's gonna be 0, 2, so I have nothing. Okay, my real estate is located at, well, I don't have any, so I don't say anything here. NA, that's all I'm gonna say. And if you have it, just write down the address. Dependent information. In this section, write the names of dependents that you include in your income tax return. This will usually be your spouse and minor children. If your spouse is not working, you can check wholly dependent. If your spouse is working, you can check partially dependent. Even if you are sending money to your parents every month and they depend upon the money you send them, do not put their names as dependents here. Okay, so in this I'm gonna write down my husband's name. Okay, and then middle name, no, and here I'm gonna change this to, okay, and then his birthday is 1967. And he works, so it's gonna be partially dependent on me for support. And then over here I'm gonna add my son. That's the last name, and his name, no middle name, relationship to me, it's my son. Date of birth, okay, and part 3, other information about sponsor continue. So is the continuation of this. My son, this person is wholly dependent on me for support. So for everything. Okay, and then I don't have any more kids, so I'm gonna leave this without anything. Okay, I only have one kid. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, in this section right here, it says if you have submitted an affidavit of support for the following persons, write it here. If you did the form I-134 before, or the form I-864, so you have to write down the name of that person. But if you haven't, you are going to write down none. Okay, in my case, it's gonna be none. Okay, we continue. Okay, so and this is gonna be also none. And this next question, they are asking us if we have submitted a visa petition to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service on behalf of someone of the following persons. If you haven't submitted an application, a visa petition like the I-130, you're going to write none, okay? In this case, I just want my mom to come and visit me. It's gonna be only for a short period of time. So I'm going to leave this like that. But if you already file a petition for someone, let's say for your fiance, like you already fill out a petition, the you know, the I-129F, So that means that your fiance wants to come and live permanent here in the United States. And you already submit a visa petition for your fiance. So in this area, it's gonna be then your fiance's last name, and in here would be the last name, and the 26B would be the first name, the 26C would be the middle name, and the 27 would be you have to specify what's the relationship to you, the sponsor. So you're gonna say, oh, it's my boyfriend, my girlfriend. You're gonna write it here, okay? But in this tutorial, this is only that I want my mom to come and visit me, okay? So I know many people get confused about which affidavit of support to fill out, because we have, you know, the I-134 and the form I-864, which both of them are affidavit of support forms. Like the form I-134, that is used for temporary or non-immigrant visitor visas, okay? If you are visiting the U.S. as a tourist, student, or for short business trip, you may be required to submit the I-134, okay, as part of your visa application. And the other form, the I-864, this is the affidavit of support that is used for permanent or immigrant visas, okay? This form is for people who are coming to live in the United States permanently as a green card holders. That's the difference between these two affidavit of support forms. Okay. All right, and then in this other column, it's gonna be pretty much the same in my situation. So continue 28 would be none, 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 none. This is for more family members. No, none, none. And then this question is very important. They are, you know, saying if you intend, I intend, or I do not intend to make specific contributions to the support of the person named in Part 2. The person named in Part 2 is the person that wants to come either to visit or to live. And of course, you have to say you are intent, okay? What that means is that you need to provide information about the type of support you will provide to the non-immigrant you are sponsoring, or the relative that you request for with the form I-130. For example, if you are inviting your mother-in-law to visit you, like this is my case, but this is not my mother-in-law, this is my mom. Like if you are inviting your mom or your mother-in-law or a friend or cousin, niece, you know, etc., you need to write, you know, like I will provide money for her expenses and for food during the visit, and I will take care of all the other expenses, including, you know, like travel, doctors, etc. Because they want to know that this is not gonna be, this person is not gonna be a public charge, you know, for the government. So you have to be financial responsible for the person that is going to come for a visit. Okay, so you have to select right here, yes, that you're gonna provide all support for this person. Okay, and then if you select intent, indicate the exact nature and duration of the contribution you intend to make in Part 7 additional information. For example, if you intend to furnish room and board, stay for how long, and if money, state the amount in US dollars and whether it is to be given in a lump sum, weekly, monthly, and for how long. So you're gonna explain in part 7 what is gonna be the plan, okay? How you gonna be supporting this person. You wanna write down your explanation in the part 7 where it says additional information. Okay. Okay, part 4, sponsors, statement, contact information, and certification and signature. Okay, so read the penalties section of the Form I-134 instructions before completing this part. Okay, okay, I'm going to select 1A. I can read and I understand English, and I have read and understand every question and instructions on this affidavit and my answers to every question. I'm not using anybody, so I'm doing it all by myself. So I picked this one. Okay, but also, like, if you are using somebody else, you know, like an interpreter, you have to write down all the information of this person in part 5. Okay, and then if that's the case, you're gonna select here, and then the language in which this person explain you everything about this this form. But in this case, nobody helped me, so I leave it in blank. Okay, so this is all blank. This is only for if somebody else helped me. Sponsors contact information, and here is gonna be my phone number, which is not, but I'm just gonna make up a number. Okay, and number 4, my mobile number. Okay, and if you have an email address, write it over here. Okay, okay, let's go over here. So you have to read all this. Okay, and then after you read all that, you know, like pretty much they talk about your obligations and your responsibility by filling out this form, and you know, and then when you already finish reading, you're gonna print out this form and you are going to sign. Use black ink, please, and then in the 6B you wanna date. Whenever you sign the form, you date it. Okay, and these all these sections, I'm going to leave it like this does not apply to me, so because I didn't use anybody. This is only if you use like an interpreter, someone or preparer, someone that read you this form, and if you use another person or the same person that prepare the form for you. So you want to fill all this information with the person's name and phone number and business name and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So in here is pretty much NA. This not apply in my case. So this is all about the person preparing the form or the interpreter. So nothing of this apply to me. And the last page, remember we talked about additional information that you are going to explain how you're gonna support your relative when arrives to United States. So this is the space you're gonna be using, and I'm gonna explain you in a little bit how to do it. Okay, so what you're going to do, like if you have like something to say about this application, you are going to look for the page number, the part number, and the item number. So like in this case, remember I told you that you have to explain what's gonna happen when your relative arrive to United States. So let me show you. Let's go up here. Okay. So it's part part 3. So you have to look for the part number you are going to explain, and then the page number, it's down here, page 4, and then the item number you want to talk about. In this case, it's gonna be the 38. Remember, you have to explain what's gonna happen, how the relative is gonna support, be like you wanna support your relative when arrive to United States. So this is what we're gonna talk in the last page and here. And I already wrote an example for you, like what's gonna happen with my mom when she arrives to United States. So you have to do this also, whatever your situation is. And also, this form must be accompanying some supporting documents. You will have to submit copies of your tax forms or your IRS tax transcripts, a letter from your employer and from the bank. Your employer letter must include your annual salary, and also to confirm your bank account, you need to prove a letter from the bank. You also need to provide recent bank statements. And do not forget to sign the form, because if you forgot to sign the form, they're not gonna process the application. Okay, so to avoid the rejection of your form, you need to check for the signature and also that the form is complete, all of it. Okay, and also something very important, this form, they update the form like once in a while, so you have to check the expiration date up here. Make sure you are using the most recent one, and you can file this form. You can print out this form, and you have to gather all the documents together, and you want to bring all these the form, the I-134, plus all the supporting documents to the interview. You don't send them over, so after all the other papers you submit, when those are approved, or when you have your interview schedule date, then you want to bring this with you to the interview. And that's it. If you have any questions, please write your comments down here, and I will respond them as soon as I can. Thank you very much. Have a good day.